National U.S. Postage Stamp Day is celebrated annually on July 1st to honor the history and significance of postage stamps in the United States. It commemorates the introduction of the first U.S. postage stamp, which was issued on July 1st of 1847. This day is a great opportunity for stamp collectors and history enthusiasts to reflect on how stamps have connected people across the country and the world. The first U.S. stamps featured Benjamin Franklin for 5 cents and George Washington for 10 cents. Stamps have depicted everything from presidents and historical events to pop culture, icons, and endangered species. The inverted Jenny, a 1918 stamp printing error, is one of the most famous and valuable stamps in U.S. history. World Sports Journalist Day is celebrated every year on July 2nd to recognize the vital role that sports journalists play in bringing the excitement, drama, and stories of sports to fans around the world. It was established by the International Sports Press Association in 1994, marking the organization's founding on July 2nd, 1924, during the Summer Olympics in Paris. 1815 BCE, the earliest known sports writing can be traced back to Homer, who described wrestling matches including a draw between Ajax and Odysseus. Late 1700s, early 1800s, sports coverage began appearing in American and British newspapers. Publications like the New York Post and the Charleston Courier included stories on horse racing and boxing. 1823, the New York Evening Post published a full-length story on boxing, marking a turning point.
If you've ever taken a beer to a job interview, you might
American
be a
Redneck Day is celebrated annually on July 3rd as a way for people, particularly those from rural southern backgrounds, to embrace and reclaim the term redneck, which has historically been used in both a derogatory and prideful ways. The term redneck originally referred to white American farmers and laborers whose necks were sunburned from working long hours in the field. By the early 1900s, some farmers in Mississippi were even self-identified as rednecks, especially those aligned with populist political movements. Over time, the term took on negative connotations, often used to stereotype rural white Americans as uneducated, unsophisticated, or resistant to change. However, in recent decades, many have reclaimed the term as a symbol of culture, pride, resilience, and rural identity. Independence from Meat Day, celebrated on July 4th, is a day dedicated to exploring a meat-free lifestyle, even if just for 24 hours. It was founded by the Vegetarian Awareness Network in Knoxville, Tennessee, as a counterpoint to the traditional meat-heavy barbecues that dominate American Independence Day celebrations. The timing is intentional. July 4th is one of the most popular days for grilling meat, making it a symbolic opportunity to reflect on the health, environmental, and ethical implications of meat consumption. Advocates of the day encourage people to try vegetarian or vegan meals, highlighting benefits such as reduced environmental impact, lower cholesterol, and more compassionate approach to food. While not everyone may be ready to give up meat entirely, the day offers a chance to experiment with plant-based alternatives and discover new flavors. National Apple Turnover Day is celebrated every year on July 5th to honor one of the most beloved and portable pastries, apple turnovers. These flaky, fruit-filled treats have a long and flavorful history. One notable story traces the popularity of apple turnovers to the 17th century France, where the town of St. Calais was suffering through an epidemic. The local noblewoman distributed flour, butter, and apples to the townspeople, who then created apple turnovers as a nourishing food source. The town still celebrates this history with the annual Apple Turnover Festival. The first printed recipe for a similar pastry appeared in an English cookbook in 1750, and by 1902 the term apple turnover was officially used in American cookbooks. These pastries became popular for their convenience and versatility, easy to make, easy to carry, and endlessly customizable. Umbrella Cover Day, celebrated on July 6th, is a quirky and charming observance that honors one of the most overlooked everyday items, the umbrella cover. These little sleeves or sheaves, often made of the same materials as the umbrella itself, are typically discarded or forgotten in drawers and closets, yet they serve a practical purpose, protecting umbrellas and keeping them compact and tidy. This observance was founded by Nancy Hoffman, who took her fascination with umbrella covers to the next level by opening the Umbrella Cover Museum in Peaks Island, Maine in 1996. The museum is the only one of its kind in the world and celebrates the beauty and utility of umbrella covers through exhibits, performances, and even a theme song sung by Nancy herself. Umbrella Cover Day encourages people to dig out their forgotten covers, appreciate the small things in life. National Day of Rock and Roll, celebrated on July 7th, is an observance that pays tribute to the revolutionary music genre that reshaped global culture. Founded in 2020 by Christina Alexander, the day honors the pioneers of rock and roll, artists who broke musical and social boundaries to create a sound that resonated with generations. Rock and roll emerged in the 1950s, blending elements of rhythm of blues, country, gospel, and jazz. It quickly became a symbol of youthful rebellion and cultural change. The genre's early icons, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and Buddy Holly, helped bridge racial divides and introduced a new era of musical expression. Over time, rock evolved into various subgenres, giving rise to legendary bands like the Beatles, Queen, Nirvana, and many more. The day is more than just a celebration of music, it's a tribute to the spirit of innovation and unity that rock and roll represents. National Ice Cream Sundae Day, celebrated on July 7th, is a sweet tribute to one of America's most iconic desserts. It's a perfect excuse to indulge in a delicious sundae topped with everything from hot fudge and whipped cream to sprinkles and cherries. The ice cream sundae itself has a fascinating and somewhat contested history. One popular origin story dates back to 1881 in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, where a man named George Haller asked a soda fountain owner to top a dish of ice cream with chocolate syrup, a treat that was originally only sold on Sundays. Another version claims that in 1892 in Ithaca, New York, a minister and a pharmacy co-owner created the cherry sundae, which later evolved into the sundae we know today. A third theory credits Charles Sontag, a druggist in Illinois, who named the dessert after himself, Sonntag being the German word for Sunday. Fashion Day, celebrated annually on July 9th, is a vibrant occasion dedicated to the art of style, creativity, and self-expression. First observed in 2016 for celebrating everyday fashion choices, it has since gained popularity as a platform for individuals to showcase their unique aesthetic. Fashion Day is more than just a celebration of clothing. It's a cultural statement. It encourages people to express their identity through what they wear, whether it's bold, minimalist, vintage, or avant-garde. The day is especially embraced by communities that value individuality and inclusivity, including the LGBTQ+ community, as it offers a space to assert personal style without fear of judgment. In 2024, the theme was Sustainable Elegance, highlighting the growing importance of eco-conscious fashion. This theme encouraged people to explore ethical brands, upcycle old clothes, and embrace mindful consumption. The Conway River Festival is a beloved annual maritime celebration held in the historic town of Conway, Wales. In 2025, the festival will span 2 weekends in July, offering a vibrant mix of sailing competitions, family-friendly activities, and nautical-themed entertainment. It's a highlight of the summer calendar for locals and visitors alike, drawing boating enthusiasts and curious spectators to the scenic Conway Quay. The first weekend from July 11th to July 13th is the Regatta Weekend, featuring competitive racing in Conway Bay for larger vessels and river racing for smaller boats and day boats. The excitement kicks off with a regatta briefing on Thursday, July 10th at the Conway Yacht Club. On Saturday, July 12th, the Quay comes alive with Quay Day, a festive celebration filled with games, music, food, and maritime-themed fun for all ages. Collector Car Appreciation Day is celebrated annually on the second Friday in July, which falls on July 11th in 2025. This special day honors the cultural and historical significance of classic and vintage cars, as well as the passionate community of collectors and restorers who preserve them. This observance was established in 2010 through a U.S. Senate resolution, thanks to the efforts of the Specialty Equipment Market Association and the Action Network. The goal was to raise awareness about the importance of automotive restoration and the collector car hobby in American society. Since then, the day has grown into a nationwide celebration with events ranging from car shows and cruises to open houses at restoration shops and drive your classic car to work days. It's a day for enthusiasts to share their passion, for communities to come together, and for everyone to appreciate the craftsmanship and the history behind these rolling works of art. International Skinny Dip Day is celebrated annually on the second Saturday of July, which falls on July 12th in 2025. This playful and liberating holiday encourages people around the world to take a joyful, clothing-free swim, not for shock value, but as a celebration of body positivity, self-acceptance, and freedom. The roots of the day trace back to 1976, when body positivity advocates Lee Baxendale and Eugene Callan proposed a national nude weekend. This idea evolved into the Nude Recreation Week, promoted by the Naturist Society. In 2018, the American Association for Nude Recreation officially designated the second Saturday in July as International Skinny Dip Day, making it the highlight of Nude Recreation Week. The day is about more than just skinny dipping. It's a statement of confidence and comfort in one's own skin. People celebrate by swimming in private pools, secluded lakes, or organized naturist events. Embrace Your Geekness Day, celebrated every year on July 13th, is a joyful tribute to all things wonderfully nerdy, quirky, and passionately specific. Whether you're into comic books, coding, cosplay, fantasy novels, video games, or vintage tech, this day is all about proudly showing off your interests, no matter how niche they may be. This observation was created by Wellcat Holidays in the early 2000s as a way to celebrate and normalize geek culture, which was once considered societally awkward or uncool. Over time, the term geek has evolved from a derogatory label into a badge of honor, representing deep passion, creativity, and knowledge in specialized areas. Embrace Your Geekness Day encourages people to wear their fandoms on their sleeves and to connect with others who share their enthusiasm. It's also a reminder that being deeply passionate about something, no matter how obscure, is a superpower in its own right. National Mac and Cheese Day, celebrated on July 14th, is a tribute to one of America's most iconic comfort foods. Creamy, cheesy macaroni and cheese has earned a permanent place in kitchens across the country, whether it's baked with a golden crust or served straight from the stovetop. Mac and cheese is a dish that brings people together with its nostalgic warmth and satisfying flavor. The origins of mac and cheese in the United States are often linked to Thomas Jefferson, who encountered the dish in Europe and helped popularize it back home. Over time, it evolved from a gourmet novelty to a household staple, especially with the introduction of boxed versions during the Great Depression. Today, it's celebrated not just for its simplicity, but also for its versatility, ranging from classic recipes to gourmet versions featuring ingredients like truffle oil, bacon, or lobster. Whether you're a purist or an innovator, this day is all about enjoying the rich, comforting joy of mac and cheese. Orange Chicken Day is a delightful celebration of one of the most beloved dishes in Chinese American cuisine. This day is all about savoring the perfect balance of crispy chicken coated in a tangy, sweet, and slightly spicy orange glaze. The version of orange chicken that is widely recognized today was developed in the United States. In the 1970s and the 1980s, Chinese American chefs began adapting traditional recipes to suit American palates. They created a sweeter, tangier sauce using ingredients like orange juice, sugar, vinegar, and soy sauce, and paired it with deep-fried chicken pieces. A major turning point came in 1987 when Chef Andy Kay developed the now famous orange chicken recipe for Panda Express. This dish featured crispy chicken coated in a sticky, sweet, and tangy orange sauce. It quickly became the chain's most popular item and helped popularize orange chicken across the country. Guinea Pig Appreciation Day is celebrated annually on July 16th to honor the charm, companionship, and cultural history of these beloved small pets. Guinea pigs were first domesticated around 5000 BC in the Andes Mountains of Peru, where they were originally kept as livestock. In ancient Andean cultures, guinea pigs were not only a food source, but also held spiritual significance. They were featured in folk art, used in rituals, and even sacrificed by the Inca Empire to appease their gods. In the 16th century, Spanish traders brought guinea pigs to Europe, where they quickly became exotic pets among the wealthy. Even Queen Elizabeth I is said to have kept them. By the 17th century, their biological similarities to humans led to their use in scientific research, which is why the term guinea pig is still used today to describe test subjects. World Emoji Day is celebrated every year on July 17th to honor the expressive power of emojis in digital communication. The day was founded in 2014 by Jeremy Berg, the creator of Emojipedia. He chose July 17th because that's the date shown on the calendar emoji on Apple devices. This date originally appeared as an Easter egg referencing the launch of Apple's iCal app on July 17th of 2002. Before emojis, people used emoticons, simple text-based expressions to convey emotions. Emojis, which means picture character in Japanese, were first created in 1999 by Shigato Kurata for a Japanese telecom company. They were designed to add emotional nuance to digital messages and quickly became popular worldwide. What's your favorite emoji? National Sour Candy Day is celebrated every year on July 18th, giving candy lovers a perfect excuse to pucker up and indulge in their favorite tart treats. From sour gummies and chewy belts to tangy hard candies, this day honors the bold and zesty flavors that make sour candy so irresistible. Early sour flavors came from naturally tart fruits like tamarind, citrus, and unripe berries. These were often used in traditional medicines and confections in regions like Asia, the Middle East, and South America. In the 19th and 20th century, the Industrial Revolution brought mass production of candy, allowing for more experimentation with flavor and textures. Citrus acid, malic acid, and tartaric acid, naturally found in fruits, began to be used to create intense sour flavors in candies. In the 1970s and the 1980s saw the rise of sour candy as a distinct category, especially in the US and Europe. Today, sour candy is a global market with a wide variety of forms. Woody Wagon Day is celebrated every year on the third Saturday of July. In 2025, that's July 19th. It honors the iconic wood-paneled station wagons, affectionately known as Woodies, which were once a staple of American automotive culture. In the 1920s and 30s, originally called depot hacks, these vehicles were custom-built by carpenters and furniture makers to transport people and luggage from train stations. In 1929, Ford began mass-producing Woodies, starting with a Model A. 1940s, Woodies became popular family cars and were featured in Hollywood films. Post-World War II, steel became more practical and affordable, leading to the decline of Woody-bodied cars. The 1950s, production dwindled due to high costs and maintenance issues. The last major U.S. Woody was the 1949 Plymouth Streamliner wagon. The 1960s and 70s, surfers adopted Woodies for their spacious, embedding them in beach culture. July 20th, annually, is Lollipop Day. Early versions of the lollipops go back to ancient civilizations like the Egyptians and Chinese, who used honey to coat fruits and nuts on sticks. In the 17th century England, the term lollipop appeared, meaning tongue slap. Sugar candies on sticks became popular. In 1908, George Smith of the Bradley Smith Company began producing modern-style lollipops in the U.S. In 1931, Smith trademarked the name Lollipop, reportedly inspired by a racehorse named Lollipop. In the early 20th century, inventions like the Bourne sucker machine helped automate lollipop production. National Junk Food Day, observed every year on July 21st, is a playful celebration of the snacks we often love but try to avoid. It's a guilt-free excuse to indulge in chips, candy, soda, fast food, and other processed treats that are typically high in sugar, salt, and fat. The term junk food was popularized in the 1970s by Michael F. Jacobson of the Center for Science in the Public Interest. However, the rise of junk food itself dates back to much earlier. Packaged snacks began appearing in the late 1800s, and after World War II, the convenience of fast food and frozen meals made them a staple in American households. On National Junk Food Day, people are encouraged to enjoy their favorite treats without worrying about calories or ingredients. Some celebrate by hosting junk food parties, trying new snacks, or revisiting childhood favorites. Whether it's a candy bar, a bag of chips, or a slice of pizza, the day is all about enjoying the fun side of food. National Penucci Fudge Day is celebrated every year on July 22nd. In the United States, this sweet holiday honors a unique type of fudge known as Penucci, which is made primarily from brown sugar, butter, milk, and vanilla without any chocolate. The result is a creamy tan-colored confection with a rich caramel-like flavor and a texture lighter than traditional fudge. The word Penucci is believed to have Portuguese origins, and the treat became popular in New England during the 1700s, especially among Portuguese whaling families. In the American South, it's often called brown sugar fudge. Unlike standard fudge, which is typically made with white sugar and often includes chocolate, Penucci relies on caramelization of brown sugar for its distinct flavor. Nuts like pecans or walnuts are often added for texture, though it can also be made smooth and creamy without them. To celebrate National Penucci Day, people often make their own batches at home, experimenting with different nuts or flavoring like maple or butterscotch. Peanut Butter and Chocolate Day is celebrated every year on July 23rd, honoring one of the most beloved flavor combinations in dessert history. This day is all about indulging in the rich, creamy, and sweet harmony that peanut butter and chocolate create when paired together. The origins of this pairing go back centuries. Peanut butter has roots in ancient civilizations like the Aztecs, who grounded roasted peanuts in paste. Chocolate, meanwhile, was revered by the Mayans and the Aztecs as a sacred drink. By the exact moment these two ingredients were first combined is unknown. Their modern popularity skyrocketed with the invention of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups in 1928, which helped cement the duo as a culinary classic. On this day, people celebrate by enjoying treats like peanut butter cups, chocolate-drizzled peanut butter cookies, brownies with peanut butter swirls, and even homemade confections. The day is also a great excuse to get creative in the kitchen, experimenting with new recipes that showcase the iconic combination. National Drive-Thru Day is celebrated every year on July 24th to honor the convenience and cultural impact of drive-thru services in the United States. Whether it's grabbing a burger, picking up a prescription, or dropping off dry cleaning, the drive-thru has become a symbol of American efficiency and car culture. In 1947, Red's Giant Hamburg in Springfield, Missouri opened what is believed to be the first drive-thru restaurant. A year later, In-N-Out Burger launched its own drive-thru, which remains the longest running in the U.S. The format gained massive popularity in the 1950s, especially with the rise of Jack in the Box in 1951, which was the first drive-thru only fast food chain. McDonald's didn't join the trend until 1975 when it opened its first drive-thru in Arizona. National Drive-Thru Day was officially established in 2002 by Jack in the Box to celebrate this unique American innovation. The day encourages people to appreciate the convenience of drive-thrus by visiting their favorite fast food spots or trying new ones. International Red Shoe Day is observed every year on July 25th as a global day of remembrance and awareness for those who have lost their lives to Lyme disease and other invisible illnesses such as fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. The day was founded in 2014 by Karen Smith and Lisa Hilton, friends of Theda Myant, an Australian woman who passed away from Lyme disease in 2013, known for her love of red shoes, which became a symbol of her vibrant personality and resilience. Her friends chose red shoes shoes as an emblem of the day to honor her memory and to raise awareness about the struggles faced by people with illnesses that are often misunderstood. Invisible illnesses are conditions that may not show outward symptoms but can severely impact a person's quality of life. These include chronic pain, fatigue, cognitive dysfunction, and other debilitating symptoms that are not always visible to others. International Red Shoe Day aims to foster empathy, increase public understanding, and advocate for better research and support for those affected. Holistic Therapy Day is celebrated annually on July 26th to honor and promote the practice of treating the mind, body, and spirit. Unlike conventional medicine, which often focuses on isolated symptoms, holistic therapy emphasizes balance and harmony across all aspects of a person's well-being. The roots of holistic healing trace back thousands of years. Ancient systems like Ayurveda in India and traditional Chinese medicine viewed the body as a network of energies and systems that must be kept in balance. The Greek physician Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, also believed in the body's natural ability to heal itself. Holistic Therapy Day was created to raise awareness of these time-honored practices and to encourage people to explore therapies such as meditation, yoga, massage, aromatherapy, Reiki, breathwork, and sound therapy. These practices aim not only to relieve symptoms, but to address the root causes of imbalance, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. National Chicken Finger Day is celebrated every year on July 27th to honor one of America's favorite comfort foods, the chicken finger. This fun and flavorful holiday was founded in 2010 by Todd Graves, the founder and CEO of Raising Cane's, a fast food chain known for its Southern-style chicken fingers. The most widely accepted origin story credits the Puritan backroom restaurant in Manchester, New Hampshire, with inventing chicken fingers in 1974. Chef Charlie Papa reportedly created them by marinating and frying trimmed pieces of chicken breast that would otherwise go to waste. In recognition of this claim, Manchester was officially declared the chicken tender capital of the world in 2023. Chicken fingers, breaded in fried strips of chicken breast, originated in the American South and have become a staple on menus across the country. They're typically served with dipping sauces like honey mustard, ranch, or the signature cane sauce, and often paired with fries, coleslaw, and Texas toast.
Hey, why don't we do this more often, bro? Just chillin'. You and me. Choco a Choco. Right. That's why.
Chips Ahoy with Hershey's Chocolate. And now, a new fudge-filled cookie.
National Milk Chocolate Day is celebrated every year on July 28th to honor one of the most beloved and widely consumed types of chocolate in the world, milk chocolate. Milk chocolate, as we know it, was invented in 1875 by Daniel Peter, a Swiss chocolatier. He successfully combined cocoa liquor with a powdered milk product developed by Henry Nestle, creating the first solid milk chocolate bar. This innovation marked a turning point in chocolate history, making the treat smoother, sweeter, and more accessible to the general public. The observance itself was established by the National Confectioners Association to celebrate this creamy, sweet variety of chocolate and its cultural impact. So yummy. National Lasagna Day is celebrated every year on July 29th to honor one of the most iconic and comforting dishes in Italian cuisine. This layered pasta dish has a rich history and countless variations, making it a favorite around the world. Lasagna dates back to the Middle Ages, with early versions appearing in Naples, Italy. The dish likely evolved from ancient Greek and Roman layered pasta recipes. The first printed lasagna recipe appeared in 1634, and it didn't originally include meat. It featured ingredients like artichokes, eggplant, spinach, ricotta, and grated cheese. Lasagna made its way to America in the 19th century with Italian immigrants, where it quickly became a staple in Italian-American households. Over time, regional and family variations emerged, including meat-based, vegetarian, seafood, and even dessert lasagnas. What's your favorite variation? I fancy the seafood lasagna myself. So yummy. World Snorkeling Day is celebrated every year on July 30th to honor the joy of exploring underwater worlds and to promote awareness of marine conservation. Breathing surface air through a tube was mentioned by Aristotle in his Parts of Animals. He referred to divers using instruments for respiration resembling the elephant's trunk. Some evidence suggests that snorkeling may have originated in Crete some 5,000 years ago, as sponge divers used hollowed-out reeds to submerge and retrieve natural sponge for use in trade and commerce. First swimmer's breathing tube patent application filed on December 9th of 1929. Barnaby B. Gurdon filed a patent application for a swimming device enabling the swimmer under instruction to be supplied with air through a tube to the mouth. On July 30th of 1932, Joseph L. Belcher filed a patent application for breathing apparatus, delivering air to a submerged person by suction from the surface of the water through hoses connected to a float. National Chili Dog Day is celebrated on the last Thursday of July each year. It's a day dedicated to one of America's most indulgent comfort foods, the chili dog. The chili dog is a fusion of two beloved dishes, hot dogs and chili con carne. While the exact origin of the chili dog is hard to pinpoint, its roots trace back to the early 1900s. Greek and Macedonian immigrants brought their meat sauce recipes to the U.S., which eventually led to the creation of a Coney Island dog, a chili-topped hot dog that became a regional favorite, especially in the Great Lakes area. The Texas Wiener emerged in New Jersey and Pennsylvania between 1918 and 1920. The Hot Wiener, or New York System Wiener, appeared in Rhode Island. The half-smoked smoked sausage with chili became popular in Washington, D.C. These variations help solidify the chili dog as a staple of American street food and diner culture.